Government reveals new plans to increase gains from events-based tourism. Sugar talks continue at the Labour Department. And in sports, it's even Stevens between CCC and Jamaica at the 3Ws Oval.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
Hello, good evening. I'm Lisa Broom with the Saturday, April 12th edition of the CBC Evening News. A new model is being developed to further boost tourism arrivals to the island. Tourism Minister Richard Seeley says it involves creating new arrangements with organizers of major events held in Barbados. Minister Seeley says it will be a key part of his future tourism strategy as efforts continue to diversify the island's tourism product.
Only today and yesterday, the organizers of the Chum event and the Top Gear event and so on, who are in the island at the moment, met with some of them, have to go and meet some others now. And we are working to see how we can develop these events as well, to make them more attractive, because people need a reason to come to a country. The Sunday scene sign alone isn't going to do it. And I think that Barbados can say that we have a number of world-class events to bring people here.
The Tourism Minister spoke about the developments during the official launch of Gospel Fest 2014. A number of international award-winning gospel artists will perform during the festival, which runs from May 18th to the 25th. Minister Seeley has also welcomed the introduction of a Barbados Gospel Fest International Choir Competition, and that will form part of the festival next year. He says this could be big for faith-based tourism in Barbados.
We've been pushing that a lot from the tourism end. For starters, choirs tend to be large, so immediately you get more people coming in when you have choirs. But beyond that, they usually bring the churches of which they're part of large followings as well, and also it's a good opportunity to have some great meaningful fellowship. And so we are supporting this effort of having the choir competition. And we look forward to, of course, having prestigious prizes on offer, international judges, and bring a refreshing new dimension to the whole Gospel Fest as well.
Well, still no end in sight to the dispute between the Barbados Agricultural Management Company and the Barbados Workers Union over the severing of sugar workers. The BWU and the BAMC were back to the negotiating table again this afternoon. Today's talks at the Labour Department, chaired by Chief Labour Officer Vincent Burnett, started around 2, but up until news time, the two sides were still very far apart. The meetings were being held against the background of a threat by the union of a national shutdown over the severing of 57 workers from Andrews factory. The session of marathon talks yesterday finally ended about 25 minutes to midnight, also with the two sides at deadlock. Officials from the BAMC were tight-lipped as they left that meeting, but General Secretary of the BWU, Sir Roy Trotman, said an apology from the company was one of the main issues that must first be resolved.
We have not got very far because the employers don't seem to be as serious as we would like to see them. One of the important things that would be standing in our way is a demand that we have made for an apology to come from the employers, the BAMC. We believe that they have negotiated in bad faith throughout this exercise.
Well, Mr. Trotman has charged that under the circumstances, the BAMC is the biggest stumbling block to the issues being settled and for the sugar harvest to resume.
The Barbados Workers Union felt it could have been resolved tonight because all that was required was a simple apology to the people of Barbados and to the workers at this stage, and for an undertaking that we would then deal with the other major issues. But if we had done that the factory could get fired up tomorrow, and that canes would be crushed starting tomorrow morning. And Sunday we were prepared and offered that we were prepared to have the workers do work on Sunday without there being any problems for them. so that we would have been right back on track.
Creating new jobs for young people is among the benefits government hopes will accrue from the green economy. This assertion from Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Maxine McLean as Barbados joins the rest of the world in marking a Global Youth Service Day. But she's calling on young people to comment on issues they believe will be critical to the sustainable development of Barbados as a small island developing state. That was her message to those gathered for the opening of the Caribbean Youth Environment Network, or CN, Barbados National Consultation and Discussion. The assembly has been organized to sensitize young people about the sustainable development process of SIDS, the post-2015 development agenda. Senator McLean says the youth must have a say in the process.
This government is committed to what we call the crafting of a green economy. What that translates into is the need to identify ways in which we have opportunities to apply new technologies consistent with sustainable development to employment. We also need to identify ways in which we can develop these technologies and share them. So I would suggest that as we look to talk about the whole issue of sustainable development and the post-2015 development agenda, that the focus should be on what must be the respective contributions of our young people.
Meantime, there is a view that it's becoming increasingly difficult for countries like Barbados to have their concerns heard in the international arena. And that's why Executive Coordinator of the Caribbean Policy Development Center, Chantal Monroe-Knight, believes it is critical that young people are more involved in shaping the development agenda for small island developing states. She told those attending the CN consultation a balance must be struck.
This whole notion of small island developing states, the fact that we are small, suggests that there are some specific vulnerabilities and characteristics which define who we are. And that is an important message that we have to be able to say to the world globally. Yeah? But at the same time, it doesn't belie the fact that as a region, we also have a lot to offer. And so that there is a balance that has to be made in terms of articulating a message about small island developing states and the specificities of our particular situation, but as well not de-emphasizing the strength that we can bring globally as well.
Local credit unions are being urged to better protect themselves and, by extension, their members. The appeal has come from Warwick Ward, Chief Executive Officer of the Financial Services Commission, which is responsible for the regulation of credit unions. He made the comment while delivering opening remarks for a training seminar on the role of the credit union, keeping abreast of your responsibilities at the Baobab Tower in Warrens.
They must embrace the regulatory initiatives that encourage prudence and quickly make the necessary organizational changes to adapt to a new business environment and to continue to build financially strong balance sheets. I know that the regulator, us, at times we are criticized for a variety of things, but in our reviews, we continue to find an absence of credit policies, inadequate processes surrounding the income verification, credit worthiness, and significant failings in relation to credit control and follow-up of arrears.
However, he noted that some credit unions are very comprehensive in their approach to due diligence and risk assessment.
Because there are a number of credit unions that have stronger credit assessment, they seek evidence of salaries or proof of income, they have strong systems and controls. While I fully accept that the important role of credit unions within our community, and of course to the members, they all would demand credit, I cannot emphasize enough that the need for credit unions to be prudent, they should do it as well in how to lend money.
The Trinidad and Tobago government says the state funeral for former President A.N.R. Robinson will be held on May 1st as tributes continue to pour in for the 87-year-old regional statesman who died on Wednesday. National Security Minister Gary Griffith, who is heading a committee planning the funeral, said that there will be a 5-day period of mourning ending with the burial on May 3rd in Tobago. The funeral service will be held at the National Academy for the Performing Arts in the heart of the capital.